chosen one. This is going to be one of the hardest messages you have ever received. Not because it is harsh, because it is honest in a way that most people around you were never brave enough to be. About your mother. About what happened between you. About what it cost you. About what it is still costing you. Because here is the truth that nobody told you. The healing you have been searching for. The peace you have been chasing. The wholeness that has felt just out of reach. No matter how much work you do. No matter how many prayers you pray. No matter how many years pass, cannot be fully accessed until you understand something specific about your mother and about what her wounds did to yours. What nobody told you about mother wounds. The wound from a mother is different from every other wound, and that is not an exaggeration. It is a spiritual and psychological reality. Because a mother is the first mirror, the first voice, the first source of information about whether you are lovable, whether you are worthy, whether you are safe in this world, whether you are enough. Before you had language, before you had the ability to reason, before you could evaluate whether what you were receiving was truth or distortion, you absorbed everything. Her approval became your definition of worthiness. Her love or lack of it became your template for love. Her voice became the voice you would hear in your own head for the rest of your life, saying the things she said in her tone with her specific power over the deepest parts of who you are. And when that first mirror was cracked, when that first voice was critical instead of affirming, when that first source said not enough, too much, wrong, disappointing, you built your entire identity around a distorted reflection and have been trying to heal without fully understanding what you were actually healed from. The truth about your mother. She was wounded before you arrived, long before you were born, long before she held you for the first time, long before she had any chance to choose how she would love you. She had already been shaped by her own mother, by her own father, by her own wounds, her own disappointments, her own unmet needs, her own unanswered prayers, her own version of everything you experienced with her. She did not come to motherhood whole. She came to it broken, carrying things that had never been addressed, wounds that had never been healed, patterns that had never been interrupted, beliefs about herself that were never corrected. And she poured herself into you, all of herself, including the broken parts. Not because she wanted to wound you, because she did not know how to give what she had never received, because she could not pour from an empty vessel, because the version of love she offered you was the best version of love that her wounds allowed her to give. And for some of you, that version fell devastatingly short of what you needed, of what you deserved, of what God designed a mother's love to be. And that gap between what you needed and what she was capable of giving is the wound. The specific ways the mother wound shows up in your life, in how you see yourself. You have a voice in your head that sounds remarkably like her, that says things like, "You are not good enough. You always do this wrong. Why can you not just be normal? Nobody is going to want you. You are too sensitive. You are too much. You are not enough. That voice did not originate in you. It was installed by the repeated messages, spoken or unspoken, that came from the first person whose opinion mattered most. And now you carry it as though it is your own voice, as though it is the truth, when it is neither. In how you love and receive love, you either love people desperately, terrified that if you are not enough for them, they will leave, the way she left emotionally or physically, or both. Or you keep people at a distance because getting close means getting hurt, and the first person you got close to showed you that closeness is dangerous. Either way, the mother wound is running the pattern. In how you relate to God. This is the one that most people never connect, but it is the most significant. How you experienced your mother became the unconscious filter through which you experience God. If she was distant, God feels distant. If she was critical, God feels critical. If her love was conditional, God's love feels conditional. If you could never fully please her, no matter how hard you tried, you spend your spiritual life trying to earn something from God that He has been freely offering since before you were born. The mother wound is the wound that distorts the face of God, and healing it restores the ability to see Him clearly for who He actually is. In how you treat yourself, the level of care you extend to yourself, the way you speak to yourself, the standards you hold yourself to, the forgiveness you do or do not allow yourself are all shaped by what you received from her. People who were nurtured learn to nurture themselves. People who were criticized learn to criticize themselves. People who were loved conditionally learn to love themselves only when they perform well. And people who were neglected learn that their needs are not worthy of attention even by themselves. What you need to understand about her. She needed healing that she never got. The things she did that wounded you were not demonstrations of your unworthiness. They were demonstrations of her unhealed wounds. Her inability to love you the way you needed to be loved was not evidence that you were unlovable. It was evidence that she was broken in ways that had nothing to do with you. You were not the problem. You were never the problem. The problem was generations of wounds being passed from one broken heart to the next, without anyone stopping to say, this pattern ends here. And somewhere in your lineage, God chose you to be the one who stops, who sees the wound clearly, who grieves it fully, who heals it completely, and refuses to pass it forward. She was doing the best she could with what she had, with what she knew, with what she had been given. That does not excuse the damage, but it does explain the source. And understanding the source is what makes forgiveness possible, not for her benefit, for yours. What real healing from this wound looks like. It starts with grieving what you did not get, not what you lost, what you never had. The unconditional love you deserved, the affirmation that should have been freely given, the safety you should have been able to take for granted, the version of mother that God designed the relationship to be, that you never fully experienced. You have to grieve that, not around it, not past it, through it, because you cannot heal a wound you have not fully acknowledged, and you cannot acknowledge a wound you are still minimizing by saying, She did the best she could, without also saying, "and it was not enough." And that gap hurt me deeply, in ways I am still discovering. Both things are true, and both need space to exist. It requires separating her story from your identity. What she communicated to you about yourself was never an accurate reflection of who you are. It was a projection of who she was struggling to be. And the work of healing is learning to look in a different mirror, the one God holds up that shows you exactly who He created, chosen, loved, worthy, complete, not because of what you do, because of who He made you to be. It requires letting God be what she could not. The unconditional love you needed from her is available from Him in full, without condition, without performance requirement, without the fear that getting it wrong means losing it. He is the mother and father in one, who covers every gap that was left by the ones who were supposed to show you love first. And in Him, that gap can be filled. Not forgotten, not pretended away, but genuinely filled with something real that satisfies what the wound left hungry. What forgiveness looks like in this context. Forgiveness is not pretending it did not happen, minimizing the damage, rebuilding the relationship as though nothing occurred, forgetting the wound so completely that you become vulnerable to it again. Forgiveness is releasing the debt, the one where she owes you something, an apology, an acknowledgement, a different version of the past that you have been carrying the weight of, waiting for, sometimes for decades. Forgiveness is saying, I release you from the debt, not because you deserve release, because I cannot carry this weight anymore, and my healing cannot wait for you to become capable of paying what you owe. Forgiveness is not a gift you give to her, it is a gift you give to yourself. The gift of freedom from a debt that was never going to be paid in the way you needed it to be. And the moment you release it is the moment you stop being controlled by what she did, by what she said, by what she failed to give. That release is the beginning of the deepest healing you have ever experienced. What God wants to say directly to you about your mother. I saw what happened. I saw every moment you needed her, and she was not there in the way you deserved. I saw every word that landed wrong, every silence that communicated rejection, every moment of conditional love that made you wonder what you had to do to finally be enough. I want you to know that I was there in every one of those moments, grieving what you were receiving, because it was never what I designed for you. It was never what I wanted for you. And I want you to know something else. Everything she could not give you, I have been waiting to give you. Every affirmation she withheld, every unconditional love she was incapable of, every safe space she could not provide, I have it, all of it, waiting for you in the space between where your wound and my healing finally meet. Come to me with this, not the cleaned-up version, the real version, the hurt version, the one that is still angry, still grieving, still wondering why the first person assigned to love you could not do it the way you need it. Bring that to me, and let me be what she could not. What changes when you heal this wound? Everything. The voice in your head changes as you replace her critical voice with God's affirming one. The constant inner criticism softens, and in its place, a compassion for yourself begins to grow. That feels foreign at first, but becomes the foundation of every healthy relationship you build from here. Your relationships change because you are no longer trying to find in others what you did not get from her. You are no longer choosing people who confirm the wound by treating you the way she did. You are no longer settling for less because less is what feels familiar. Your capacity to receive love changes because the belief that you are unworthy of it has been replaced with the truth that you were always worthy, always enough, always lovable, even when she could not see it, even when she could not show it, even when her wounds blinded her to the extraordinary person God placed in her care. Your relationship with God changes because the distorted lens through which you saw him as critical, as distant, as withholding, as requiring performance before giving love has been cleaned, and what you see now is a father who was never like what you feared, who was always like what you needed, who has been waiting with open arms for you to heal enough to finally let him in. Final word. You will never fully heal until you understand this about your mother. She was broken before she broke you, and the breaking was never about your worth, it was about her wounds. That does not make it hurt less, but it does make it understandable, and understanding is the beginning of healing. Grieve what you did not get. Forgive what was done, not for her, for you. Let God fill the gap with the love that was always yours, and watch what happens to every area of your life that the mother wound was secretly controlling. The healing that comes from this understanding is the deepest, most transformative, most life-changing healing you will ever experience, because it goes to the root of everything. And when roots are healed, everything above ground changes. In the comments, write, "I am healing from the root," or the number 444, or "God is filling every gap my mother could not." Subscribe and stay close. Chosen one, you now understand what you needed to understand about your mother and your healing. The real healing, the complete healing, starts right now. Amen.